Jordan, go ahead.
Hi, Don. Renaya Davis was held without a point in the first half, able to score, I think, 20 midway through the fourth quarter. What was she able to do offensively that just kind of created some problems in that second half?
I mean, she put us back on our heels. And then she just got momentum. She got to the free throw line. I mean, she did a little bit of everything: mid-range, threes, free throw line, attacked at the basket. I mean, she's a senior in this league. I mean, she's done that night in and night out. Unfortunately for us, she did it on a night in which they needed it, and she willed them to a win.
Maria, and then Greg.
Coach, the game, it was sometimes felt like it was hard for either team to get in a rhythm. There were a lot of whistles, and did that affect either side, or is that just part of what happens in the SEC in these games?
I mean, it was part of the game. It means a lot of stoppage, but at this stage of the game, you got to be ready to pivot and play whatever style that's needed to win basketball games. But I mean, Tennessee just took it to us in the third and fourth quarters, and I mean, we had nothing or no one to stop it.
Greg?
Yeah, Don, looking at that stretch in the third and fourth, what was missing primarily for you guys? Did you feel like you needed to feed Aaliyah more? Was there something missing from Destiny? What was the biggest problem?
I mean, the biggest problem was we couldn't make a basketball play, whether it was a simple high post pass or we couldn't make reads. We tried to get the ball into Aaliyah, and we got the ball to her at the high post. We just couldn't, figure out how we get it to the low post. Maybe she needed to be in two places at once, but unfortunately, that doesn't happen.
Mike, and then Michelle.
Hey, Don, this team hasn't lost in the league in now almost 2 years. What was your message to the team after the loss tonight?
I mean, one loss will be, have huge ramifications in this league, and also on the whole national scheme as far as NCAA tournament. I just, for us, I like to play in front of all of that, and then you leave all the questions of all that other stuff. But now we're going to be the ones that's asking the questions instead of just forging ahead. But we'll right the ship. This, it is. I mean, as much as it's a devastating loss, there's still a lot of the season left, and all of our goals are still in front of us because of the work that we put in and the position we put ourselves in today.
Michelle?
Prior to today's loss.
Thank you.
Yeah, Coach Staley, are you concerned a little bit about the transition game and this loss and the loss to UConn, or do you see that as just sort of a function of you not playing defense as well as you would want to?
Yeah, I mean, a lot had to do with what we weren't able to do defensively, and probably a direct impact of that was our inability to turn the ball, inability to handle the ball. They got out in transition off of our bad shots, our turnovers, and then they just came downhill on us, and they scored.
Jordan, and then Doug.
Don, last year when you played Tennessee, you beat them by 21 points. And I know you can't compare, year to year in the outcome, but what to you is the biggest difference in this year's Lady Vols team?
I mean, the biggest difference is they are disciplined, they're in shape, they are more healthy. And, they just kept fighting.
Doug, and then Greg.
Hey, Dawn, I know after the UConn game the other day, you were saying that the turnovers were a problem and that there are too many of them. Is this a fixable thing? I mean, since you just mentioned turnovers again being an issue, like, I don't know, the numbers may not be, but the leading to points for them, is that something you guys can fix, you think, somewhat easily?
I mean, if we can't fix it, then, we might as well pack it in. Yeah, they're fixable. I mean, we play Henny too many minutes. I couldn't get her out. Don't have really, another point guard to put in that I feel comfortable with at this time. And we just loaded her minutes up. And she just, as much as she tries, you know, she pushes the ball for us. She defends. Just too many minutes for her in this type of game. It's just so taxing. But again, I just didn't feel comfortable with anybody else just replacing her.
Greg, and then Mitch.
Don, when you look at the foul trouble, I think Aaliyah, Victoria, and Letitia all had 2 by half, and Aaliyah and Victoria end with 4. How much did that impact what you wanted to do?
I mean, not very much. I mean, not today. I mean, if we had our bigs rotating over to help off the penetration, I would say it hurt us, but we weren't doing that all night. So it didn't really hurt us. They flat out beat us, you know, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They put us back on our heels. They made big plays. They made basketball plays, and we didn't.
And last question to Mitch.
Coach, obviously, just curious, do you feel like at some points in the games, you know, down the stretch, starting with the UConn game, that this team, when they're in these close games, instead of taking control and regaining, that they're walking on eggshells, sometimes uncertain about certain plays that you're talking about, maybe those entry passes? Do you feel like they start to think a little bit more when the game gets a little bit tighter, or?
Well, I hope they are thinking a little bit more. You know, you got to think and you got to be able to execute. Again, I attribute just our point guard play to heavy minutes. Can she play? Has she ever played? She certainly has, you know, but we're talking 40 minutes in this type of game, you know, where she's pushing the ball down the floor and she's guarding. It's hard for her, you know, it's hard. We would do Ty like that, and Ty could handle that because she played a whole lot of minutes for us. She's done that before. This is all new to Henny. She'll adjust, you know, without a doubt, she'll adjust because I'm sure there's going to be another night we got to play her 40 minutes.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.